Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into a really interesting piece of Canadian literature.
Yeah.
Ethel Wilson's 1954 novel, Swamp Angel.
Yeah, it's a fascinating one. And we're looking at it through the lens of a pretty insightful book review.
Exactly. The mission today is to really understand what that review means when it calls the book quietly profound.
Yeah.
What makes it a gem even now? Let's dig into what the review says. So the review kicks things off by focusing on the opening, right? With the main character, Maggie Lloyd.
Mm-hmm. After 20 years of marriage, she leaves her husband, Edward.
Just like that?
Well, yeah. But the way she does it is key, according to the review. It's not this, dramatic flight.
Okay.
It's described as very calm, a quiet severance almost. And that really sets the stage for her journey. It's less about running from something awful.
And more about finding something new.
Exactly, finding a new path. The review frames it as self-discovery, a specific kind of escape. She ends up at this remote fishing lodge way out in British Columbia.
And that setting, the lake.
Mm-hmm.
The review says it becomes pretty important.
Oh, hugely important. Almost like a character itself, that isolation plays a big role.
And Maggie's not alone there for long. The review mentions other characters getting drawn into the story, like Mrs. Vardo.
Right, Mrs. Vardo. She's this really independent, kind of enigmatic figure. Used to be in the circus, apparently.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and she's found her own kind of peace out there in the wild. The review suggests her past gives her this incredible resilience.
And there's also Hilda, who's younger.
Mm-hmm. Young Hilda. She arrives quite troubled, looking for her own fresh start after some kind of crisis. And the review really praises how Wilson weaves these lives together.
But it's not through big plot twists, is it?
Yeah.
The review says it's more about the small interactions.
Precisely. Subtle moments, but they have a real impact. That's where the review says the novel really shines. It looks at human connection, how people influence each other.
And the different ways people try to find escape. Or maybe find themselves trapped.
Exactly that. How these separate lives just touch and, change each other in unexpected ways.
You can't really talk about this book without mentioning the writing style, can you? The review calls Wilson's prose exquisite, especially the descriptions of BC.
Oh, absolutely. The lake, the mountains, the seasons. The review is clear. This isn't just pretty background scenery.
Right. It does more.
Yeah, the argument is that the natural world actually mirrors what the characters are feeling inside. The weather, the stillness of the water. It reflects their own inner turmoil or peace, adds a lot of depth.
So if we pull these threads together from the review, what are the big ideas? Freedom, obviously. Identity, meaning.
Resilience, transformation. Yeah, all those big themes. And right at the heart of it, this idea of the swamp angel.
Okay, what is the swamp angel, according to the review? It sounds intriguing.
It's not literal, the review explains. It's more symbolic, like a guiding spirit, or maybe better put, it's about inner strength.
Ah, okay.
It's that force inside, that resource people like Maggie and Mrs. Vardo draw on to get through the tough stuff.
That makes sense. The review also touches on the book's pace. It calls it deliberate.
Deliberate, which might make you think slow, but the review insists it doesn't feel slow.
Why is that?
Because that pacing lets you really sink into the characters' heads and into that incredible setting. It gives Wilson space for these really sharp psychological insights without needing, melodrama. That's part of its quiet power.
Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive here, the review highlights Maggie's quiet rebellion, this sort of tapestry of lives connecting by the lake, the powerful BC setting, and these deep themes. Freedom, inner strength, that swamp angel idea, it really does sound like what the review called it, a quiet triumph.
Definitely. The review suggests it's the kind of book that sticks with you because of that depth, those characters, it resonates. So thinking about that swamp angel concept, as an inner strength for navigating challenges, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? How might you, listening now, recognize or connect with your own inner swamp angel when life throws things your way? Something to think about.